Spud here, Spud's Outdoors. Today I just wanted to take a minute or two to tell you the difference between the Automotive Custom Lighting turn signal kit and the WD Electronics turn signal kit. What I like, what I don't like. So let's take a look at them. I'm showing you the front because that's the main differences. The back on both of these kits just flashes your brake lights on either side. They look pretty much identical that way, and they both work really good that way. So here is the WD Electronics sequential front turn signal. Looks pretty fancy. I get that. Looks cool. It's brand new as well. Here's the Automotive Custom Lighting. They're nice and bright. I like that. Let's put this in a real world situation where you want to be seen when your lights are on. Okay, both lights are on low beam, and it's pretty bright in the shop. You can see both of them fairly well. Let's turn the lights off. Okay, you can still see both of them pretty well, right? But what one can you see better? They're both roughly the same distance apart, same low beam headlights on, but what one can you see better? And camera I would say is about 10 feet away from the machines. The farther you get away, the harder it is to see on either one of them, but I can tell you which one I want to be looking at as a driver in another vehicle. So on the inside, this is the WD Electronics turn signal lever and mount. Now, I do like the fancier lever. It looks a little nicer, and I'll show you the other one in a moment. Both of these kits indicate your turn signals on the dash, which is nice. The mount for this is kind of chintzy, and it also kind of gets in the way of your tilt unless you bend it just right. So it's not quite as high end, I would say. The other things about it is a lot of times you can get it with an easy button for the horn, which I like, but it's a custom order to get, or an add-on I should say, to get four-ways. There's no way to turn your four-ways on here, and they do make a button for it. I know you can order it, but it doesn't just automatically come with it. So that's a separate option on this kit. So this is the Automotive Custom Lighting turn signal kit. The lever itself looks kind of like something you'd find out of an old grain truck. It's heavy duty though, which is a plus. It just doesn't look as fancy, but it does have a nice solid bracket. It's a built aluminum bracket that has the extra little wowie to go over the bracket for your trim or your tilt, and there's a lot more room to run that, as you can see, which is handy. I like that, and it also shows on the dash just like the other one. And this one, the hazard lights come standard. It's just part of the turn signal, the lever. It's just part of the kit. So that I do like. And then you can get the optional horn. Doesn't look as fancy. I mean, they do have a switch similar to the WD Electronics one, but this is what was available. So that is an option to add to. It's pretty similar. Okay, so catch up on the highlights. One thing that's a good idea on these rope lights are their daytime running lights. WD Electronics has got that, so that's kind of nice. The other bad part is if you're trying to sneak out to the deer stand, that's always on when the key is on, so maybe not so good. But in Minnesota, to drive on the road, they want you to have your headlights on. So I don't know if that's going to pass as far as having a headlight on or something, but it's something to remember at least. But this rope light doesn't stay this bright for that long. We've got one on the farm that's been here for 4 years. This gets cloudy, it gets kind of faded, and the coating gets kind of tough and rough. It's inside more than it's outside, but when you're using it, obviously it's in the elements. So this isn't going to be that bright for that long, and it's right by the headlight, so it's tough to see. Where this other light, you don't have to mount this over here on the Automotive Custom Lighting. You can move it down here or over here or whatever you decide, however you want to install it. but it's brighter. This light is brighter than this one. That's my main highlight, main takeaway. Automotive Custom Lighting has the hazard lights included in their kit. It's part of that turn signal lever, that old school one. And I don't like it because it doesn't look cool like this one, WD Electronics. But I like that the hazard switch is right there. So I don't know how you're going to get away from it. I guess I'm being nitpicky on it. The big thing to note about it is that lever, that metal lever, sticks out maybe an inch farther, inch and a half than the WD Electronics one. That one you don't catch your hip in or your love handle on it when you get in and out. Sometimes you can do that on this metal one, which is a little more uncomfortable. So maybe that's why I bring it up so much. It's really not that big of a deal between the two, but I do like their fancier, high-tech looking switch. Those are the two main points. Remember that both of these kits, you gotta add the trailer light wiring, and you can get 4 flat for either one of them. But that's all on the WD Electronics. The Automotive Custom Lighting, you can get the 7-prong or the bigger plug-in and put in. You can get either one. There's a couple of different brackets to choose from. They have a little nicer, neater way of mounting it on the Automotive Custom Lighting. I think that's a little bit better. I guess the biggest thing is to remember that. I mean, remember that that is an option. What do you use it for? Do you pull a trailer? Would you benefit from having those trailer lights? I mean, yeah, a lot of times we're maybe not supposed to be on certain roads and places, but if you have turn signals and lights, it doesn't mean that they're street legal, but it means that whoever is on the street is going to see you and be less unhappy with you driving there. So I guess to me it's a benefit to have trailer lights. Other than that, they pretty much use the trailer or the rear lights as turn signals. Both kits have that. There's a couple small differences as far as installation goes. They both do the plug and play in the back. They tee right in back underneath the box to install them. The one thing I will say about the WD Electronics wiring harness kit, they have a box that everything goes into. It's kind of big. You got to stuff that under the dash or the hood somewhere. It's a little bit more of a pain, where the Automotive Custom Lighting is just some relays you got to find a place for, which are smaller and easier to put into a certain spot. So that makes it a little simpler. And if you're not going to install it, then don't worry about it. So hopefully those highlights are enough to help you out. The biggest takeaway on it is these lights are brighter than these lights. And the whole reason that you put turn signals on are so you can be seen by other vehicles. And that's the biggest thing for me, is the brighter light over here. So minor details. I mean, this is first world problems we're working on right here, right now. These machines are a lot of fun, and the safest way to be driving them, I think, is to have the right turn signal kit. So it doesn't mean that this is the wrong one. It just means take into consideration that this light isn't going to be that bright forever. You can run this kit. You can add on another LED light. Maybe you want to put one down here. Maybe you want to stick one on the mirror. That's what we do with this one. We put in a light strip on this side. I can show you that. It's all in what you want to do, what you want to spend. You can always add. That way you can see it from 2 angles. But hopefully that helps you kind of make a decision as to what you want to do. Maybe it'll make you aware of a couple of things you maybe didn't think about as far as trailer lights go, functionality of the turn signal switch. Like I said, it's all minor details, but something worth noting. I've had customers come and look at mine versus some other ones, and they say, hey, well, I like this, I don't like that. I wish I would have known about it before I was sold a kit. Sometimes the salesman only sees it one way, and that's it. So hopefully you can take this knowledge and run with it, and it helps. And that's the whole goal. There's other kits out there, and they've got highlights about them too. But I had these two here at the shop at the same time, so I figured I'd show you what we got. I'll put the websites in the description if I can figure that out somehow. Hopefully you can like and subscribe, and hopefully it'll help you out. Thanks for watching.